Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to make a custom header with Elementor Pro. So here I have my WordPress website. It has the Astra theme installed on it currently. It's made with Elementor. Right now this is the regular logo and header that you would get with the Astra theme, so just your normal header. What we're going to do is create a custom header with Elementor. I'm going to show you how to set it up, how to put all the settings in, how to put your logo, how to put the menu, how to customize it, change the size, make it sticky, give it an animation or effect, make it transparent. I'm going to show you how to do all of those things. So to get started, we're going to go to the dashboard of your website. That's the back end of your WordPress website. And I'm assuming that you have already installed Elementor Pro. If not, you can go to plugins, and from your Elementor account, you will download the zip file for Elementor Pro. You'll click Add New to add a new plugin. You'll click Upload Plugin and then choose the file, install it, and activate it. So I've already gone ahead and done that. I have Elementor Pro right here, and I'm going to show you how to create your header. So we're going to go to Templates right here from the left side menu. We're just going to click on Templates, and then we're going to click Add New, and here it's going to ask us what kind of template we want to add. So we're going to choose Header, and you can name it whatever you want. In this case, I'm just going to call it Header to make it easy to recognize and remember, and we're going to click Create Template. So off the bat, it's going to give us some header templates that we can use, and you're free to install any of these, but I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch just so that you can understand exactly how to customize it. Sometimes these template ones have a lot of little custom settings and things, and it can be hard to change it to make it look how you want. So I like showing you how to do it from scratch, and that way you can make it whichever way you want. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. And here you have your regular Elementor builder, the same way that you would use to build a page. So what I like to do is create different kinds of sections for what's going to be in the header. So for example, if you want to keep it really simple and you just want the logo on one side and the navigation on the other side, you just need 2 sections. Maybe you want to have like your social media, business hours, then you want to have your logo, and then you want to have the menu. You might want to have more sections. So in this case, I'm going to make one that's a little bit more complex. I'm going to have one top row with social media and business hours, and then a second row with the logo and the navigation menu. So to do that, we're going to create a brand new section, and I'm going to right click here to add a column. So now I have 2. Here's where my social media is going to go, and here is where my business hours is going to go. Then under that, I'm going to create another 2 sections. We can just choose for it to have 2. And here's going to be my logo, and here's going to be my navigation. So if we go here to all the elements, we can just drag and drop everything that we're going to use, and then we can tweak it later. So we know we're going to use the navigation menu. I'm going to pop it right in there. Let's go back to all options. You can use the site logo widget to automatically detect whatever your logo is. But honestly, just to make my life easier, I actually just like using the image widget. I just find it easier to customize, and sometimes depending on what theme you have, the theme might not detect the logo that you think it is, but I like having an image. That way I just pick the image that I want, and I know it's going to be that image. Okay, so we can go back. Now up here, I'm going to have social media. So we're going to find the social media option. Here we are, social icons. Drop it in there. And then up here, I want to have business hours and a contact phone number. And I'm going to use an icon list to do that. So go back to all sections, and let's just look up the icon list. Here it is. And we're going to drag and drop that icon list right there. So right now, it's looking a little bit crazy. Now we have to tweak it and make it look pretty. So let's start by setting up our logo. And let's pick our actual logo in this case. So it's this one right here. We're going to click Insert. Alright, so there's a logo that I chose. Now it's kind of gigantic, so we can actually adjust the column size. You can adjust the logo size itself. But I want that logo to take up the full width of the column because on mobile that column is going to shrink. So it's easier, instead of adjusting the image size, just adjust the column size. So I'm going to shrink it down to where I think it looks good. And let's do 18%. That looks really good. So next we're going to do our navigation menu. I want it to be aligned to the right so that it's not super close to the menu. So let's click on our navigation menu. And here under align, we can align it to the right. Another thing that I like to do is make sure that everything is centered inside of these columns. So to do that, we can just hover over the column option. And then here where it says vertical alignment, we can choose middle, and that will put this in the middle of the column. We can also do it for the logo, vertical alignment middle. It's going to adjust it a little bit if needed. For the social media icons, let's do it as well. Vertical alignment middle for the column. And then for these as well, vertical alignment middle. That way everything is centered and it looks really good. Next, I want to change the color and font of this navigation menu. So let's click on it right here. And if you have more than one menu on your website, here where it says menu, you can choose and there'll be a drop down. In this case, I just have my main menu that I created. If you made other menus, you can switch them right here. We have some additional options. We could align it to the left, we can center it, and we can spread it out, but I like aligned right. We can also choose the pointer. The pointer is what when you hover over a menu option, you get this green color and this underline. You can change it to be an overline at the top, like this. There's double, there's framed. If you want it to be like a box, it'll do a frame around it like that. There's all kinds of things. I actually like having none. I feel like it's kind of distracting when there's like too many lines and too many things. It's not super professional. It's like too flashy. But if you like it, you can definitely have it. And then the submenu indicator, we don't have any submenus here, but if you did, you can choose what little icon goes next to it. You can go through these and you can see how it looks. All right, so next we're going to go to style. And for typography, we're going to make it Railway. That's the font we're using on the rest of the website, so that's what we're going to do. Next, we can choose a size and weight. I actually like its current size and weight. I'm not going to change those. I am going to make it black. There you go, perfect. Everything else I am happy with, so I'm not going to change that. If you wanted to change the color of this, you can. You can go to the section option here in the middle. You can go to style, and then under background, you can make your menu a different background. In this case, my logo is white, so I kind of want to keep it white. That looks good. Now, I do want to have a background color for this section up here, so I'm actually going to come up here to this section. I'm going to go to style, and I'm going to make this black. I want this to be a black background up here. Next, I want to style these social media icons so that they look good. So I'll click on these. I'm going to align them to the left. And here under shape, I'm going to make them a circle. Next, I'm going to go to style. And instead of official color, I'm going to do a custom color. And I want to go ahead and make them black and white. So let's switch this to black. Or let me see. Maybe it'll look good the other way around. That looks pretty good. Actually, you know what? No, I take it back. Let's do it the other way around. Yeah, it looks much cleaner like this, actually. Great. So for spacing, let me shrink this down a little bit. And then for the size, let's make this a little bit smaller. Let's see, right there. Now, this section is looking really big, mostly because of this list. So actually, if you go to content here, you can link your Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also remove any that you don't have and add any that you do have. So you can choose the icon for the social media you want to connect and then add your URL link there and it will show up here. Next, let's fix this icon list. We can click right there on the pencil to edit it. And I only need my hours and phone number, so I only need 2 items, not 3. I also don't want it to be stacked. I want them to be next to each other, so I'm going to choose inline. So for the first one, I'm going to have the hours. So let's put here, for example, maybe 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. are the hours. And I will look up a little clock icon. This one looks good. Let's insert it. And then we're going to have a phone number. So I'll put in here a phone number. And then for the icon, we can have a phone icon. All right, looks great. Let's match the colors so that it looks in line with our style. So we're going to go to Style. For icon, we're going to make them white. And for the text, we're going to make that text white as well. And under text, let's check the typography and let's make it match the rest of our website as well. And I kind of don't like how the numbers are not aligned in this font. So you know what? Let's undo that. Yeah, let's put it back to Roboto. And I actually think it probably looks better like this than how the other way around. All right, so I also want to align this to the left. So we can go to List and align it to the, to the right, not to the left. And it's a little bit too close to the edge, so let's add some padding to scoot this more inward. So we can go to Advanced, and then here under Padding, we can unlink the values and add some more space on the right-hand side, and we'll see that as we add space, it scooches over. Let's do 15 pixels. Okay, perfect, that looks good. All right, so now we have this new header that we created. Let's test it. So we're gonna go ahead and click Publish. And when we click Publish, it's going to ask us where do you want to show this header. You can actually have different headers for different pages. That's why it's asking you. In this case, this is going to be a general header for our website. So we're going to add condition. So include. That means where do you want to include this header? Right now it says entire website, but if you wanted to, you could have it only show on the archives, which is like just the blog pages, or just have a specific menu for a singular page. And then you could choose, hey, only show this menu on, only show it on the contact page, for example. And then this menu would only show on the contact page. So you can create more templates for different menus and have them show up in specific pages. But in this case, it's going to be a menu for our entire website. So that's really the only setting we have. We can add more conditions if you want to say, for example, show this menu on the entire website, except excluding the blog page, and then you can set up rules like that. But in this case, for almost all instances, you're just gonna have a menu for your whole website. So we're gonna click Save and Close, and that will save our menu. And we're gonna click here the little preview icon, and click Preview. And here we see what our header looks like. Let's click right here where it says Home. And we can see now that we've got our logo, our menu, and we've got this top bar. So off the bat, this looks a little bit too thick and it looks kind of empty. Let's add a search bar here and let's make this a little bit thinner and let's make this up here transparent. So let's go back to the header. To make this thinner up here, we're going to go here to the row options and then under layout, where it says column gap, we're going to put no gap. That's going to make it much more narrow. We're going to do the same thing for this other section here. Layout, column gap, no gap. It's going to make it more narrow. It's going to save us some space. Here, I don't want the logo to be so close to the edges. So we're going to click on the logo. We're going to go to Advanced. And we're going to add maybe 10 pixels worth of padding around it, just so that it's not touching the edges so much. All right, that looks a little bit better. Now I want to add that search bar here on the right-hand side. So how do we do that? We're going to add another column here to the right. To do that, just hover over this little gray column icon, right-click it, and click Add New Column. Now we can go here to all of our elements, and let's type in search. Here it says search form. We can drag and drop this search form right here. And we have different kinds of styles. There's minimal, and there's full screen. This one, when you click it, it opens up to the whole page. That's what full screen means. Classic as well. I like the classic one. You can pick the placeholder, the text, and the button type, text or icon. I like the icon one. And you can choose the size and style for the icon. So off the bat, it looks like it's a little bit too tight. Let's give it some space. We're going to go to Advanced. We're going to go to Padding. Let's do 10. All right, that looks good. Next, we're going to go to Style to set up the colors. So for the text colors, let's do black. For the background color, let's do white, since our website is black and white. For the button, we can do, let's see how it looks if we do black. It's a little bit hard to see, maybe like a dark gray. There you go. That looks good. Now, let's scoot this. We can adjust the column size just to kind of make everything fit a little bit better. So we'll scooch this over to the right. Let's do 20%, just like this. Perfect. So now we've got our time, our social media, and our search bar. Let's make this part here transparent. So to do that, we're going to click right here on the options. We're going to go to style. And then for background color, we're just going to choose to make it transparent. Now, it would help to have a transparent logo. This logo is not transparent. But let me go ahead and upload a transparent one real quick. So I'll just come here to the media, click upload file, and I'll pick a transparent one. And I'll go ahead and upload it. And this logo is actually transparent, so it's going to work a little bit better if we have a transparent background. So there's my little logo. Let me adjust the size here under style to kind of make it not so big. About 60% looks good. All right, so we've made, if you go here to the background options, we've made it transparent. So let's update it and see how it looks. You'll notice that even though it's transparent, look what happens. So we're going to refresh here, and we're going to click home. So we see even though we made it transparent, the background doesn't show here. We see that everything else looks good. We have the social media, the hours, the search bar, and our navigation. But how do we get our picture to show up here? So basically what we have to do is push this menu over our background here. So I'll show you how to do that. What you want to do is come here to this section, go to advanced, unlink the margins, and then here where it says bottom, margin is how much space is between two sections of your website. And if we go click the down button and we get that negative value, you see how it starts scooting the page up? Basically what that's going to do is scoot the background image up under the menu. So let's do 50 pixels. You might have to test a couple of times to see exactly how much you have to scoot it up. Let's do 50 and see if that's enough. So that's up to date. It's going to refresh here. Let's go to the home page again, and we'll be able to see how it looks. So we see here that it's scooted up about halfway, and we see that our menu is in the front, but our logo is behind it. So we have to actually change a different setting to make sure everything is in the front. So we're going to go to header, and we're going to make sure we're here in the options. And under advanced, we're here where it says C index. That pretty much is telling our website what parts of the website have to be in front or on top of other parts. And the higher the Z index number is, the more up front it is. It's like different layers of your website. And this is useful if you have a bunch of images that are overlapping. So for example, I'll just put 9 for now. If you had like 10 different images overlapping, you might have to use more, bigger numbers. But with 9 should be enough. Let's click update here. And it's going to refresh. And let's click home. And we see that was enough to let the website know that this has to be on top. So 50 got it about halfway. Maybe we need 50 more. So let's keep going down. Let's put it to 100. Oops. Okay, minus 100 pixels. So we scooted the page up 100 pixels. And let's see how that looks. Let's go here to home. And we can see that we've scooted the background up 100 pixels and is now behind here. We can also see that we kind of scooted it too much and it kind of hid our search bar up here. So let's go back to the header and we have to do the same thing. So for the search bar, we also want to go to advanced and we also want to put 9 just to let the website know that that has to always be on top and showing. So let's click update and let's see if that worked. Let's click on the home page. Perfect. Now this is not blocked anymore. We have our navigation exactly how I want it. One more thing that I want to add, I would like it so that when I hover my mouse over these elements, they change color a little bit so that people can know that they're clickable. To do that, we're going to go to header. We're going to go to the navigation menu first. And then under style, there's an option here that says hover and text color. And I want it to be just turn slightly gray when they hover over it, just like that. And I'll copy this color code. And when it's active, when it's actually clicked, it'll just stay black. And then here we're going to click on the social media icons, go to style, and then for the colors, icon hover. So primary color is white. Oops. And then on hover, it's going to go gray. Let's see. So that's one way to do it. What's turning gray here? Okay, so the gray is fine because we want the icon to turn gray. We don't want the background to change. So let's make the background transparent, which is the primary color. There you go. Now it just turns gray. Perfect. So let's click update there. It's going to save those options. See, it turns a little bit gray. And let's double check it here. So perfect. It turns slightly gray when you hover over it here as well. So we've made a custom header for our page. If you feel that it's too close, you can always come edit your page and add more space on like this section if you're using a transparent option. The next thing we want to do is make sure the mobile menu version looks good too. So we're going to come back here to the header, and then on the bottom left hand corner we can go to responsive mode and we can click mobile to see how it looks on mobile, and we see that it's okay, but it's just a little too crazy. So we need to adjust the size of the columns to make it look good. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that the logo and the menu are kind of better distributed. So first we can click on the column and we can assign in Elementor how much of the width of the phone we want the column of this item to take up. So right now it's taking up 100% all the way across. If here where it says column percent, if we put 50, you'll see what it does. It's only taking up half. And if we put 20, it's taking up even less. So let's do, for example, 30. And then here for this menu, it's also taking up 100. We can do 70. So that will make it automatically fit in here because 30 and 70, 100, and it will work together to fit up, to take up 100% of the spacing. So this logo, we can click on it and we can make it a little bit bigger for the mobile version. So we can adjust the width to 100%, maybe not 100, maybe 80. And this will only affect the width for the mobile version. So it's not going to affect the size or settings that you put for the desktop version. Next, we probably want to work on how the menu is going to look. So let's click on the menu here. And the first thing I want to do is scoot it over to the right. So I'll go to content. We're going to scroll down here to mobile menu drop-down options. We want it to be on the right-hand side. And then if we click the menu, if you actually click it, you'll see how it opens like this. We don't want it to open like this. We want it to open in its own spot and not like push the logo or anything like that. So to do that, we're going to change this to full width. And when I click the menu now, you see it opens right under. It like it has its own space. It doesn't push anything on the website. So perfect, full width. And we can see the colors are good. If you needed to change the colors, you can go to style. You can go to toggle. And then here you can choose the colors. In this case, let's see. Let's do maybe white and then black. And that will change the colors of the toggle right there. So looks good. Next, let's adjust these right here. So we're going to do the same thing. This social media, we can do 50%. And the time and hours and phone number, we can do 50%. And we see they fit in together here. But we can see that here it's kind of crunched up, and maybe the social media doesn't need as much space, but the phone number and time do. So let's go back here to this column. Maybe the social media can fit in 30. Let's try. Nope, let's try 40. Okay, so it fits in 40, and maybe we can give the other column 60 to give it a little bit of a better chance. All right, that's a little bit better, but I kind of wish it was all in one line. It needs 70, maybe 65. What if we did 65 and 40 and 35? Let's see, would that work? Perfect, 35 and 65, a little bit of trial and error. So we have our menu and our search. Now, let's say that there's an element that works good on desktop and it looks good, but it just doesn't look good on mobile. It just doesn't need to be on the mobile site. There's just no way to make it work. So for example, maybe on mobile, you don't need this search bar or this extra thing that works on desktop, but it's just too clunky on mobile. You can choose to leave some things out of the mobile site. So let's say I want to leave out this entire column. we would click on this column here, and then we can go to advanced, and we can go to responsive, and we can actually choose to not show that column on mobile devices. So here there's an option that says hide on mobile, and we can turn it on. And now when somebody goes on mobile, they'll see this social media phone, and then they'll see the logo in the menu, and they won't, this will be like it's not even there, like they won't see that at all. You can do that for anything. So let's say you wanted to hide this icon here. Let's say you want to hide the logo on mobile. You could do that too. You could go to advanced, responsive, and under responsive, you can choose to hide anything. So you could hide this logo, you could hide these icons. You can choose to hide any part of the website that you only want to show on a desktop. Likewise, if you're working on a desktop website and you want to hide something in mobile, you just use this hide on desktop option as well. All right, so let's also scoot this a little bit to the right. It's kind of close right here. So we'll click on the navigation, go to advanced, unlink them, and then add maybe 15 pixels to the right here. Perfect. And let's click update. And we're going to refresh here. Click home. All right, perfect. And we can see that if we crunch the page down to like how it's going to look on mobile, we have the navigation, logo, navigation, and we can see that that search bar disappeared, like just how we wanted it to, and everything else takes up the right amount of space. And if we put it back to the size that we wanted, let's pop this back to the right size. There you go. Everything that is supposed to show is there. If you want to be extra safe, you can also go to the tablet version, and you can just check. And for tablet, I can see here that maybe I just want to change the spacing a little bit. Usually for tablet, if they have the tablet in landscape mode, the desktop version will work fine. If they have the tablet in portrait mode, the mobile version will work fine. If you need to tweak it, like here, this one looks fine, but maybe I want to tweak this search to have a little bit of extra space. I can do that. Go to layout, maybe give it 30. Give this one 30 as well, and then give this one 30 as well, for example. Something like that, and then it would kind of scooch it into place. Actually, let's do 33, 33, and 33. Perfect. So, you can adjust it a little bit for the tablet, but usually if you have a really good desktop setup and a really good mobile setup, the tablet one will just fall into place properly. Let's add a little bit of space here on the navigation on the right, just like everywhere else. And click update. And now it is perfect. So you can add all different kinds of colors and settings, all kinds of things. We can also make it sticky. So for example, let's say you want to make it sticky. And what that means is that when you scroll down, the menu stays up here. You can do that. So I can go here to the options, and I can go to motion effects, and I can turn on sticky to the top, and I'll click update. And I can choose, is it going to be sticky on every device or maybe just the desktop? You can X out if you don't want it to be sticky on mobile. And we can go to home. And we can see that now when we scroll, the menu stays up there. So that's how we can make it sticky. We can also make the top bar. Right now, only this section is sticky, so you can see that this stays up here. But we can actually make the whole thing sticky if we want to, by doing the same thing, going to motion effects, sticky, top, update, and that will update, and now the whole thing is sticky. You'll see it all slides together now. There you go. Now this one is sticky. But it does overlap our other menu, and you don't want to have like the entire thing scrolling down, so I always like to having just like the important part be sticky. So I'll put, for this one, I'm going to put no. Under the motion effects, none, and then we'll just leave this part as sticky to the top. Update. Perfect. And there you have it. You've made a completely custom menu with Elementor Pro. So with Elementor, of course, you can come in here and you can add all different kinds of elements, the same kind of elements that you would add here on your page. You can add all different kinds of elements, change the font, color, add a background image, even add a video. You can add anything to your header. you can build your header the same way you would build a page pretty much. I hope this video was a good guide and it helped you. If it did, please remember to hit like on this video so that YouTube knows to recommend it to more people. Remember to subscribe for more videos just like this one. And a big thank you to our channel sponsor, Hostinger.com. If you have any needs for your hosting or domain for your website, including WordPress websites, they have you covered. Hostinger is an amazing service, extremely reliable, extremely fast, and very affordable. Top of the line hosting for your website. I highly recommend it. There's a link in the description of this video where you can get a special offer. You can also visit hostinger.com/iCreateYourSite or use the promo code iCreateYourSite at checkout to get that discount on any of your products that you want to purchase from them. Truly an amazing service, and we thank them so much for being a channel sponsor. Highly recommended. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot with this video, and have an amazing day.